Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to make a very brief contribution to this bill, recording of court proceedings, the recording of court proceedings bill. But before I speak, Mr. Speaker, I urge you to give me just a few moments to thank the people of Beaufort North for returning me to the Parliament. Je remercie tout gens Beaufort North qui voté pour moi. L'année passée. At this moment, 1 year ago, Mr. Speaker, we were rallying the voters, and I wish to thank all those who assisted me, those who made sacrifices, our team, my family, and everyone who continues to support this government and continues to support my efforts. Thank you very much. Now we miss you. Mr. Speaker, the recording of court proceedings bill, why is this important? And I want to spend a few minutes, Mr. Speaker, to explain, because as the member for Castries Eastern Prime Minister indicated, this government has made justice a very important part of its mandate, justice for all. And you can connect this to crime, whether it be violent crime or petty crime, and justice is important. And while court transcripts may seem very remote to the ordinary citizen, I want to spend a moment to explain, Mr. Speaker, to honorable members and to my constituents by extension, why this is important. First of all, Mr. Speaker, why do we need a transcript? And what is a transcript? So, Mr. Speaker, when you go to court, what you say in the court, as Prime Minister said, the evidence and so on must be written somewhere, it must be recorded. So this is, the transcript is the document or the evidence of that recording. Because alors l'audience, Mr. Speaker, il est important pour ça ou dire l'audience là, pour nous ni en equity, avec un temps à présent, nous ni électronique, bagay computer, bagay phone, avec différents électroniques, et qui plaise pour ni record là ou ka là l'audience là en disant ça. C'est ça bill ça qu'a fait. A transcript, Mr. Speaker, the official court transcript is important because the decision of a judge or other judicial officer may be appealed. So si vous pas écrit là bien, and tomorrow you have to appeal it, demain on est pour vous voulez faire l'autre décision, vous voulez dire c'est pas ça ou dit, then this becomes very, very important. Mr. Speaker, it's important for people to know that the record of proceedings, ça veut dire bagay la yo ka écrit l'audience. It means the pleadings, the declaration of readiness to proceed, minutes of the hearings, summary of evidence, transcripts, if prepared and filed, proof of service, evidence received in the course of proceedings, exhibits marked but not received into evidence, notices, petitions, briefs, findings, orders, etc., etc., etc. So, il est important pour ces records ça là, toutes ces différents bagailles comme ça, il est important pour y record. It's very important because people say, Mr. Speaker, why is it important? Sometimes, Mr. Speaker, Prime Minister indicated this, attorneys and judges may want to review what has taken place. Si vous avez une difficulté à l'audience, avec un avocat, peut-être changer avocat, ou vous voulez, ou qui ça ou dire l'audience là, ça nous a fait aujourd'hui là, est important pour ça. Mr. Speaker, in the past, I'm sure you know, there are people who have been guilty of crimes and sentenced to prison. And they have been able to recall the transcripts of court proceedings and prove their innocence years later. Pour qui ça bagay comme ça important aujourd'hui, pour qui ça gouvernement ça ni pour faire ça parce que de là si la ni ou faire bagay peut-être moun di ou faire bagay, yo trouvé ou coupable ou aller la jol, yo la clé ou en code garde avec l'année après ça, l'année évidence qui vient devant, qui neuf, ça nous qu'a fait aujourd'hui, ça fait avocat, l'année, combien l'année après, vient, mener ouvert qu'à ça là, et si l'année évidence neuf, peut-être ou même, ça aller, pour ça jouer une liberté. And Mr. Speaker, even the Right Honorable Sir Dennis Byron, the President of the Caribbean Court of Justice at the time, 2013, spoke to the whole issue of modernizing the court. And in a lecture delivered by Sir Dennis Byron, the Honorable Sir Dennis Byron, the role of the Caribbean Court of Justice and importance to Caribbean judicial and economic development, Sir Dennis Byron says this, and I quote, "The CCJ now operates in what can modestly be called a high-tech environment. This is essential to the court's efficient spanning of the watery divide between Belize in the north and Suriname in the south. Trials and case management conferences can now be conducted by video link. Video and audio recordings are the norm now. The official transcript is in the form of an audio-digital record. Transcripts are available on the court's website the same night of proceedings, and pleadings and submissions are available to journalists with court approval. The technological and other innovations embraced by the CCJ have not come about by accident. They reflect the result of thoughtful planning and careful implementation. The Caribbean Court of Justice Strategic Plan 2013-2017 sets out the mission and vision together with the values by which the court and its staff will be guided in the carrying out of its mission." Unquote. So even the great Sir Dennis Byron, Mr. Speaker, when he spoke about the role of the Caribbean Court of Justice, spoke to the whole issue of technology, the use of technology in the Caribbean Court of Justice. So this is very important. Saya Potter, Hututmun. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, there is progress because the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, has started training in digital audio recording of court proceedings. And you know, they have started training from April, and we are looking forward to our judges and other officials of the court receiving training. So, Mr. Speaker, while this bill may look very innocent, but it's very, very important for justice, it's very important for the rule of law. Because, Mr. Speaker, je supporte bill ça parce que il a mené les affaires l'audience en temps nous, avec si l'année bagay qui fait dans l'audience là, avec avocat ouais, qui ça qui fait. Even, Mr. Speaker, there is a provision in the bill for a translator. So people who do not speak English, whether you're a Spanish-speaking person or French, and even our Creole-speaking people can get justice because this bill provides for an interpreter. Because si vous allez l'audience, c'est que vous parlez anglais, c'est créole vous voulez parler, bill ça là, loi ça là qui fait l'audience là, mener un monde qui sait parler créole et anglais, et saoudi créole, vous pouvez mettre le recorder avec aussi écrit, comme ça tout saoudi l'audience là, c'est ça, vous écrit c'est ça ou te voulez dire. So I support this, Mr. Speaker, and it will continue to help us to advance the cause of justice in this country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.